Paddington Bear stamps released by Royal Mail. Welcome to Mark and Pete. Here's a thought.
Unique stamps that bear Paddington Bear is a marvellous Royal Mail accolade. So the letters you share to Peru with care should be affixed with marmalade. Yes, well, there's a thought. Paddington Bear is to be on 10 special stamps released by the Royal Mail, and this is to mark his 65th anniversary. Wow. Yes, the Peruvian bear first appeared in 1958 in Michael Bond's book, A Bear Called Paddington. And when you think about the accolade, the real idea of having Paddington on a stamp, it just fills your heart with glee. I certainly want to send more letters. When you also think about other characters that potentially could be on there, comic strips that could be from bygone eras. We've seen that in the past there have been fictional characters like Peppa Pig, Bob the Builder, Shaun the Sheep. Maybe we could have Rishi Sunak. Well, either way, a bit of politics, why not? Clergyman Pete, I ask you, which characters would you like to see adorn on a Royal Mail stamp?
Well, I was thinking about this. I think that it's a Royal Mail stamp, so you want something really British, or something, some character, like James Bond. Traditionally,
that'd be a good one.
He comes from Scotland, and is on Her Majesty's Secret Service, or His Majesty would be this time. So that would be a good one. But how about some traditional characters, like characters from Charles Dickens, for example? Because that's
Oliver.
Oliver Twist, or the Artful Dodger, or maybe Nicholas Nickleby or David Dimbleby. No, that's the one. That's another fictional character. But maybe, maybe some characters from Shakespeare. But I think to bring it up to date, you could have some characters from popular soaps, on TV, and have.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I would name them, but I don't watch any of them. But I understand they're very popular, so why not? Yeah. So there's something about having a stamp, having it on a stamp, that makes it a celebration of the character, and also then the fact that it's been on the stamp sort of elevates the character to another level. This is an official representation of us, because you've got well, you used to have the Queen's head on it. Now it's the King's head on it. You have the character next to him. I mean, that makes it. You almost see them as equivalent. Paddington Bear and King Charles are equivalent.
Well, I agree. I mean, here's the thing. It's the rarity as well. So from a commercial perspective, many people invest in stamps. And here's the thing. The more exclusive that they are, I know that the amount of stamps that are used today are considerably less than perhaps of a bygone era, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a great accolade to appear on them. One of the things that I would definitely say is that I'm glad that they've opened up the idea of what can go on it. The very thought of having Paddington Bear on it, say 40 years ago or more, was certainly when I was collecting stamps at school, would have been really a great blessing, because some of the stamps that I collected were somewhat rather prosaic, and they were great. Some of them were very rare, but they weren't that exciting. Whereas today, if I look at these, they actually come from stills from the actual TV series, and actually have Paddington doing things which again just brings a little smile to people's faces, I would think, as they receive the envelope. Now, here's the thought. I actually wonder whether they could go even further. I mean, characters from TV is one thing. I think that could definitely work. And I like the idea of, characters from the past, Charles Dickens. What about stars or something like that? Again, I like the British angle. Definitely do that. Would you like the idea of Ed Sheeran being on there?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Does that appeal to you?
Have Ed Sheeran or some sort of musical artist. I mean, I think that you could.
Good idea. Yes.
You could really open it out into different forms of art and entertainment, thus including people in it. I mean, one of the things that has become very popular these days amongst people who run movie studios, music studios, is to have some representation of different elements of society in your artists, or certainly in the publicity to do with such things. So in stamps, you could have people from different forms of art and
yes,
certainly some fictional characters which come from different parts of the country and different parts of society, and even people who've come into the country, bringing their different traditions in. You could have different characters from that. I mean, why not characters from, say, Indian folklore, or there has historically been largely Indian immigration into the UK. Why not that? You could bring out different elements of Britishness.
It's always good to come from that angle, Royal Mail. If you think, have a competition where people actually draw their own characters, and the winner gets, of course, the chance to have a Royal Mail stamp. So you sort of build the idea of it becomes more interactive. More people potentially could sort of share their drawings through the stamps. That might be one way of getting people to send more letters. There's nothing better than having a personal letter. I know that an email is always good to have, but it's not the same, is it? I mean, having something tangible, that's what I like.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about stamps is, I think the thing that makes it such that it's more of an event when you have something new on the stamps is that stamps have always been collectible.
Yeah,
and so because people, as you mentioned, your own collected stamps, well, the very fact that people have already collected them, you just introduce something new, and they immediately become collectible. But the fact that they're collectible make them feel, at any rate, more valuable. And so it might be sort of like an accolade to encourage perhaps new writers, come up with a new character, have them represented in some way on a stamp to encourage new authors. There are so many ways that this could be used, because it seems to me that this is part of British culture in itself, the having these novelty stamps, and so having it celebrating British culture is just a win-win situation. I just feel a bit odd talking about it here on Mark and Pete, where we like to make fun of certain things that are going on in society and make acerbic, sarcastic comments about the terrible things going on in politics out in the world. And here we've got something that just seems great.
Well, here's the thought. I'm going to sort of give you a quote from David Gold, the Director of External Affairs and Policy at Royal Mail, and he said that Bear stamps will brighten up the day of anyone receiving mail with a touch of Paddington's charm. I think that sums it up.
Yes, have a marmalade sandwich on us. I think that's probably about it for this episode of Mark and Pete. Let us know who you think should be on a stamp. Just go to markandpete.com. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment there, and we'll be sure to read it and maybe even read it out on a future episode. But for Mark and myself, it's bye for now. Catch you next time.